the big story this week. Is Donald Trump, the president of the United States, dying? Some blokes appeared on a viral TikTok video claiming to be a doctor that knows his shit, right? And he's decided that Donald Trump has got about 6 months to live. I'm going to play this clip here, because you can see all of this stuff around his hands and whatever. Well, you can't if you're just listening, but all of this stuff around his hands that's been in the news. He's been trying to put concealer on his hands, and his ankles look like elephant ankles at the moment for the Trump of Donald. So let's see what this bloke that's claiming to be a doctor has got to say about the whole situation.
The president's congestive heart failure is getting worse. I'm a home health physical therapist with a doctorate in my field. I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. And the reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out against MSNBC for giving him hash about his ankles. This is how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some fucking reason? He says, people said I'm not doing very well. I don't think he's talking about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all is because he has the privilege of getting IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised and covered with makeup. Badly.
Yeah, that does look terrible. Like, I'm just looking at it there. The concealer he tried to put on his hand, and his enormous fat ankles there. He's trying to cover up this bruising on his hands. More about that in a minute.
I might add. We know that it's getting worse because he knows he cannot hide the degree of swelling. That's why he's sitting behind the desk. Oh, he also has chronic kidney disease, which is also contributing to the swelling in the feet and ankles. I can't tell you how...
You know, it's quite a lot for a doctor that's seen a couple of pictures, let's be honest.
How many times I have seen a patient in their home because they were hospitalized for AKI, or acute kidney injury. And the kidney injury was caused by nephrotoxic medications, namely diuretics, spironolactone, Bumex, Lasix. The president is definitely getting sicker, and we know he's not going to change his diet because he's such a fucking idiot. I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
It's not going to change his diet because he's a fucking idiot. That's what this air quotes doctor thinks about the situation. What do we think about the situation? Well, let's have a look here. Let's just change my screen for a second. So there's his ankles. Apparently he was photographed at some football match, soccer if you're American, right? It's a Chelsea game, I think he went to, but he has got like the biggest. His ankles look weird. It's almost like they've got beer bellies and they're hanging over his shoes. Now is the Trump of Donald's ankles. So, and I don't know whether that's like a new thing or whether that's something that he's had for a while. I really don't know. But regarding his hand, like regarding the bruising that we've been seeing on his hand. Now, obviously, right, he's got this bruising on his hand and he's trying to cover it up. So, conspiratorially, I've seen people posting this stuff, and I'm going to show you what they're talking about. And it's in the conspiracy world, people believe that Donald Trump is actually a shape-shifting lizard or something, right? And that is his real skin coming through his hand. And evidence of this, according to these people, is Queen Elizabeth before she died, or Elizabeth. And there she is. This was the last photograph of the Queen, and there is her hand. So there's her hand, and Trump's hand now looks like that, right? And it's the green coming through, apparently, from the scales that are underneath the skin. You can't hide it anymore when you're dying, apparently. This is the conspiracy theory. And they're all lizards, all the world leaders and the royal family, etc., are lizards. Regarding the swollen ankles, like there they are again, like Trump's enormous swollen ankles. What is it with the swollen? Speaking of the Queen, this is the king now. Look at the king's fingers. Sausage fingers Charles. Have you ever seen anything so ridiculous? I wonder why is he trying to wear a ring on them things? It looks like inflated balloons on the end of his hands, on the end of his arms, should I say. And the end of his hands. His fingers are on the end of your hands, aren't you, I suppose. And it just looks a bit, I know like there's all sorts of conditions and people get ill, but I wonder what causes that. King Charles and his sausage fingers, it says there. So Trump's now got sausage ankles. Charles has got sausage fingers. The Queen had like reptilian skin coming through her hand before she died. And now Trump has got reptilian skin coming through his hand. That he's putting this concealer on. Where's that gone again? Look there. So he's putting this, and he doesn't even, who puts that on for him to cover that? Because that's the hand. And then he puts this weird like foundation or something on it. And he thinks that's covering it up. It just makes it look. It looks like what he puts. It looks like what he puts on his eyes or something like that. Like what's going on here? Would he like? Is he the sort of person that would tell somebody that he was severely ill, or would he keep it a secret? Would he want the sympathy, or would he want to keep it secret? But there's people out there that are probably really, really happy that Trump it might be, that this doctor reckons, I don't know if he's the only one, because people were saying earlier in the week, he hasn't been seen since Tuesday or something like that, like last week. And now he's been seen again. So everyone thought he'd already died. But now that's kind of like been debunked, and he hasn't. He's around again, but he's still got the sausage ankles. He's still got the scaly hands. But people are celebrating this and acting like, oh yeah, be gone soon, good riddance, without realising if you don't like Trump and he goes, you get JD Vance. That's who you get. Is that any better? I don't know. It's not my country. Not for me to say. Okay, keep your opinions to yourself, Limey, is what I'll get from people for commenting on that, right? So, yeah, that's the opinion of that bloke that claims he's a doctor. And there's the evidence, the fat ankles, the green hands, the concealer, and the failure. Didn't he fall over as well the other day, Trump? Because of the sausage ankles and because of the hands, he's sure to be dead in 6 to 7 months. I think he said 6 to 8 months, maybe he said. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know about this. Cheers.